I am in El Segundo at the Zimmerman Automotive Museum. Now this museum is different from other museums. All of the cars in their collection actually run, and on Sundays they will take you out for a drive in some of these classic cars. So I'm really looking forward to it. I got there at 10 when they opened. They were having the grand opening of their new cafe, and they had invited people to bring their cars. So they had a mix of museum cars and privately owned cars in their parking lot. In the lobby, you see this 1886 Benz. This is an 1886 Benz. It is known as the very first car powered by an internal combustion engine. Pretty cool. 3 wheels. Some of it kind of looks like a bicycle, but very innovative and started us off to where we are today with cars. The car rides don't start until 1, so I had a lot of time to peruse the museum. I love how the floor looks like a road, and they have street signs hanging from the ceiling. But the cars are the stars. This is a 1922 Detroit electric coupe. You could go 70 to 90 miles on a single charge at a top speed of 25 miles an hour. It would plug in directly to your home outlet and would take about 12 to 16 hours to charge. They have this cute little gas station set up, and you can get in this car for a photo op. Did you know that when cars were first invented, then of course came gas stations, and then came like oil, lube, tire stations, and they were actually separate. The very first super gas station opened in LA just before World War I, and you could get tires, oil, gas, all at one place. What a concept. I love that this little gas station is complete with a door to the men's room. I tried it. It is a fake door. This is a 1914 Saxon. Now you may not know the history of a car like this, but in 1916, 2 women, Alice Burke and Nell Richardson, set out in a bright yellow Saxon for women's rights. They left in 1916 and traveled 178 days, and they visited 125 cities trying to promote the right for women to vote. Finally, in 1920, women got the right to vote. The Ford Model T was one of the most popular gas-powered cars of its era. Farmers started buying their first gas-powered car, and it was the Model T, because the Model T was more than just the car. It was a stationary power source. You could hook up the back tires to run sawmills and combines. You could use it as a plow, and you could get an aftermarket kit and use it as a snow plow as well. Railroads started getting the Model T in order to pull the rail cars to put them in their appropriate places. So this Model T car was a powerhouse at the time. This is a 1931 Ford Model A Roadster with a sticker price of $455. It replaced the Model T, whose sales were dwindling. After this model, Ford discontinued using letter designations for its cars. Henry Ford was heavily involved in the design of this hood ornament, a quail, to represent rapid acceleration, simplicity, and unpretentiousness. This is a 1936 Packard. This is one of the cars that they will have in the Rose Parade. And look at this beautiful hood ornament. It is a cormorant, and it was not the only hood ornament that Packard had. This is a 1941 Packard 110. Packard was a luxury car manufacturer, but like a lot of car manufacturers in the 1930s, they struggled to sell cars, so they came out with a lower cost car under $1,000, and that helped keep the company in business for the rest of the 1930s. The 120 is the one they introduced, and this is the 110, which is a successor to that. However, even though they survived in the 1930s, that move actually hurt them in the long run because they were no longer known as the luxury car maker. So, win the battle, lose the war. This Packard hood ornament is called the Goddess of Speed, and she is holding a tire out in front of her. They modernized that hood ornament and came up with a more abstract design, still called the Goddess of Speed. This is a 1939 Cadillac limousine. Did you know that limousines have been around almost as long as cars have? I don't know why I didn't know that, but it makes a lot of sense. So in 1939, the country is still trying to recover from the Depression, and Cadillac and Packard were trying really hard to compete for the same market share with their limousines. And this 1939 was Cadillac's new design with this pointed grille to try to take the market away from Packard. I think they were successful. This is a 1940 American Bantam Deluxe Roadster, a 1941 Plymouth, and Chrysler. They're almost twins. This is a 1949 Crosley station wagon. This is a 1952 MG Mark II TD Roadster. Here's a nice car. It's a 1959 Austin Healey. This is a 1961 Corvair, and look where you put the gas in. It's in the front of the car. I love all of the different types of hood ornaments they have. This one is one of my favorites. It is a woman laying down on her stomach on the front of the car. It's on a 1955 Nash Rambler cross-country station wagon. This beautiful car is a 1963 Studebaker Avanti. Notice that there is no grille in the front. That was a very innovative design. The Avanti is known for its beautiful design, and I think there is one at the Los Angeles County Museum of Art. This particular car was owned by the Zimmerman family. His kids went to school in it, and there are still stickers on there from the school parking lot. The Avanti broke 29 speed records at the Bonneville Salt Lake Flats in Utah, and they had a top speed of 168, made a few tweaks, and got that up to 198 miles an hour. This is an ASVE AREX Super Coupe Roadster 2008. This was a pre-production model. I don't know that it was ever meant to go into production, but it was innovative for its design. It's got 800 horsepower. It'll go from 0 to 60 in 3 seconds and tops out at 200 miles an hour. Can I tell you how disheartening it is to see cars like this Firebird that I used to ride around in when I was younger in a museum? Behind these glass doors are their most valuable cars. You can't enter this section without being accompanied by staff. I'm a klutz, so I opted to keep these cars safe by not going in. After seeing all the amazing cars, I am really excited to take a ride in one of them. These are the two cars we'll be going out in. This is a Mercury, and this one is a 1959 Cadillac. Which one do you think I want to go out in first? your adventure.